Welcome. We are going to perform the opera of the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel. This opera was written by Engelbert Humperdinck.
Long ago, at the edge of a large spooky forest, there lived a woodcutter with his wife and 2 children. The boy, who was a little mischievous, was called Hansel, and the girl, who was much more sensible, was called Gretel.
Sadly, the woodcutter was so poor that he barely had enough money to buy food for his family. So he went to the market to sell his brooms. His wife went with him, leaving the children all alone in the house.
The children soon became bored, so Gretel decided to teach Hansel a dance. Fortunately, as they were finishing their dance, they carelessly knocked a jug of milk on the table. It was the last milk in the house.
Just then, their mother came back, and to her horror, she saw the milk spilled all over the floor. This made her very angry. She was so cross that she sent the children into the woods to pick strawberries for tea.
In despair, their mother sat down and sobbed. She was sure they would all die of hunger. Just then she heard the woodcutter coming home. She told him all about the children. When he heard where the children had gone, he was shocked because there was a wicked witch who lived in the woods.
It was well known that the witch turned children into gingerbread, so the mother and father ran hastily into the woods to find Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel had finished picking strawberries and had been so busy playing and laughing that they had not noticed it was getting dark. Now they began to be frightened because they realized they could not find their way home. Gretel sat down and began to sing a little children's song. It was about the Sandman who helps children sleep and gives them sweet dreams by sprinkling sand onto them.
A tiny little man stands as still as stone. He wears a purple coat and he's on his own. Say who that man can be, standing there so silently, with his purple coat in the woods alone. His hair is all of gold and his cheeks are red. He wears a little black cap upon his head. Tell me who that man can be, standing there so silently, with a little black cap upon his head.
So the children began to feel tired. It was time to sleep, but before sleeping, Hansel and Gretel sang their evening prayers, and 14 angels gathered round them and guarded them all night.
Lay me down to sleep, 14 angels will me keep. 2 are here to watch my head, to the far end of my bed. 2 to guard my right hand, 2 to guard my left hand. 2 of them will cover me, 2 of them will wake me, and the last 2 will take me to paradise. When I lay me down to sleep, 14 angels will me keep. 2 are here to wash my head, to the far end of my bed. 2 to guard my right hand, 2 to guard my left hand. 2 of them will cover me, 2 of them will wake me, and the last 2 will take me to paradise.
In the morning, Hansel and Gretel were woken up by the dawning fairy, shaking dewdrops over them. They sang a sweet song to wake the children up.
Awake each morning to see the new day dawning. Who rise refreshed as daisies, who sleep in slumber lazy, and with the golden light of day I chase the fading light away. Fresh dew around me shaking, until the day awaking.
When Hansel and Gretel woke up, they noticed a cottage which was made out of gingerbread and covered with delicious sweets and candy. They stared with delight and astonishment at the cottage. They couldn't believe their eyes. They wondered who lived there and thought that the cottage must be magic.
And where's the queen who enjoys a greater treat? If only she saw us, perhaps she lost us in and invited us to dinner. But where to begin? Think we told her we lost our way, perhaps she lost us to stay.
Suddenly the children heard an eerie sound behind them. They felt petrified. Quick as a flash, an ugly, scrawny old witch jumped out of the house. The children tried to run away, but the witch cast a spell on them.
Hocus pocus, witch's charm, you are frozen by my arm. Do not move, do not try, you are fixed by my evil eyes.
It was useless. The children couldn't escape from the cruel witch. She made Hansel stay in the chicken coop, and Gretel had to do the housework. The witch is celebrated by singing and dancing.
Hop, 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 clap, 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 a rooty man, do not laugh. At dawn of day I ride away, and here and there and everywhere. At midnight hour when I'm alone, to join the witches dance I go. And the 3 and 4, the witches' law, 5 and 6, the witches' tricks. And 9 is 1 and 10 is none, 7 is little, or what she will. And thus I ride till dawn of day. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, 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 galop, lop, lop, a rooty man, you do not lag. At dawn of day I ride away, and here and there and everywhere. At midnight hour when no can know, to join the witches' dance I go. And 3 and 4, a witch's law, and 5 and 6, a witch's tricks. And 9 is 1 and 10 is none, 7 is little, what she will. And thus I ride till dawn of day.
Day after day, the witch would give Hansel delicious treats to eat. She would even make him hold out his finger to see if he was juicy enough to eat.
However, luckily the witch had bad eyesight, and Gretel would tell Hansel to hold out a small bone instead of his finger. Soon the witch lost patience and decided to eat Hansel anyway. Gretel pretended she didn't know how to use the oven and asked the witch to show her. As the witch was bending over the oven, Gretel pushed her in and shut the oven door with a big bang. Hooray! The witch is dead!
Thank goodness, at last the witch is dead, and after a lot of searching in the forest, the mother and father were greatly relieved to finally find Hansel and Gretel. So it was a happy ending after all.
The spell is gone and we are free. We'll sing and dance and shout for glee. Come everyone and join the ring. Join hands together while we sing. We'll sing and spring. We'll dance and sing. We'll sing and spring. We'll dance and sing. Spell is gone and we are free. We'll sing and dance and shout for glee. Come everyone and form a ring. Join hands together while we sing. We'll sing and spring. We'll dance and sing. We'll sing and spring. We'll dance and sing. Do, 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 do.
We hope you enjoyed our production of Hansel and Gretel.